Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies." He who believes in me will live, even though he dies. 100% of people, 1 out of 1, die. That's the single most reliable statistic. Death is the end of this life. In fact, in the eyes of most people in our modern Western society, death is the end of everything. That's it. How should we respond to death? A common answer, again in our modern Western society, is to ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. Don't think about it. Think about what you're doing today and tomorrow and next week. Don't think about death. But for a lot of people recently, that's become a much harder answer, almost a useless answer. With COVID-19, we've had numbers of people dying on our screens every day, in the news reports, online, everywhere. And in Reading last week, there was the horrendous scenes of those murders in the middle of town. We can't ignore death. We can't pretend it doesn't exist. What should we do with death? How can we respond to it with hope? And that is the answer. The words of Jesus when he says, "He who believes in me will live, even though he dies." There is hope. For everyone trusting in Jesus, death will not be the end. We will live. We will be with him forever. For he is the resurrection and the life. Let's take joy in that. Let's find confidence in that. Let's celebrate that. Death may be all around us, and there's much to mourn. It may be growing ever closer for some of us, but in Christ it is not the end. Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies."